Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. I am Khadijah Denise, and this is the Awkwardly Funny podcast. Thank you for joining me once again. I know it's been a while since I recorded, but you already know my excuse. Life has been lifing, but I have been working on a new project. I'm working on a new journal with Amazon KDP, so it's been wrecking my brain, even though it probably should not have been. But anywho, today I want to talk about how me moving back home in my 30s, because y'all don't need to know my age, out of my business, how ultimately it has helped in my healing journey. A lot of you may know, and I have to reiterate this for the people who are just tuning in and do not know, that I'm relocating out of the country. So I did move back home about a little bit over a year ago to save money, because I got tired of paying high rent prices and just the cost of living period. So I'm figuring that if I'm really just waiting on God to let me know when I need to move and when I need to step out on faith. And I did not want to damage my rental history in the event that I do want to come back and rent an apartment or whatever the case may be. So I didn't want to get another lease. I didn't want to get another roommate. And ultimately, I was like, I'm coming back home. It wasn't really a question. It was more of, I'm on my way. I'm shipping boxes. I'll see you in a little bit later. But anywho, so moving back has definitely helped me, and I think it's because of the environment. Life is way more boring here. It's definitely, but in my defense, well, in its defense rather, it's less stressful as well. When I say I have been getting the best sleep of my life, it's like vacation sleep. My family always jokes with me and say how I'm like, I'm always sleep hungry or working out. And that's basically true. But it's helped with a few things. And not to say that if I really wanted to do these things that I could not. I mean, you got air, trains, buses, cars, whatever, and I have the funds to move how I want to. But for me, I really want to be my best self when I make this next step in my life, when I go on this next journey, the next season in my life. I am cutting back. This is juice, so don't, like, I have a meeting later, so I may sneak a little bit of some in this juice, because this meeting was supposed to be next week. I wasn't prepared for this today, but anyway. So I have cut back on drinking substantially. You know, when you, and okay, so I want to tread lightly with this, because whether you want to admit it or not, and I've said this before, that your environment ultimately impacts your decisions and your choices that you make. It's just no way around it. So that's why they have that saying, birds of a feather flock together, because if you're doing better than the people that are around you, or you're around the same level, then you don't feel the need to change or grow, right? So I said all this to say, when I was in Houston and living just enjoyment was life, right? So at any point in time, I could be like a little tipsy on the clock. We drinking before we get off work, we're drinking before work, after work. You know what it is, right? So my dad, he likes to drink, and there's always drinks at the house, but I'm like, I don't really need it. Where am I going where, because I'm socially awkward and I'm an introvert, so sometimes I just like to drink to loosen up, warm up, whatever the case may be. So I'm like, I'm at home. Where am I going outside of, hanging out with my family? And there's been times that I made a drink, and I'm just like, well, I end up falling asleep watching TV or something and not even drinking all of it. And for me, that is a big deal. And ultimately, I do want to be completely sober, but I know I have to give myself grace, and I have to have baby steps with that. But with me going to a new place, I want to learn from previous mistakes when it comes to things that I've done while I'm drinking, right? Most of the bad decisions that we've made, that I've made, I'm going to speak for myself, has been under the influence, right? So with me going into a new country, a new continent across the ocean, I want to have the drinking. I want to have that, because this ain't my city. You know what I'm saying? Like this, when you in your city, you can move a little different than when you can than when you would move rather if you in a new city or a new place, right? So that's one of the things that being back home has helped me with my drinking, because there's not a lot to do around here. I'm not driving an hour to hang out. A lot of places, y'all know I love my Afro beats, so they don't have African spots out here. They barely have Africans out here, so I'm going through some withdrawals, okay? I want somebody to tell me, yes madam, how far? I'm going through my withdrawals, right? So I don't feel the need to be constantly going out, and yeah, it does get boring, but I have to also, you know, give myself a little kudos, a little pat on the back, just because I am growing, I am healing. I'm definitely not the same person that I was when I left Houston. Another way that being back home has helped me, if you've seen my previous video, if you haven't, you should already saw it, with my celibacy journey. I'm just not interested in the guys around here, and I won't touch too much on that. If you're interested in that story, you can watch my previous video. But that's definitely helped, because if you're not interested in a man, it's really, really easy not to sleep with them, right? Of course, I can travel to places that I've been. I can get online. I can meet people in other cities. I can go back to Houston. I can spin the block, but I don't spin the block, baby. I don't do that. We've talked about that. Y'all know I don't do that. So that's another way that being back home has helped me. But the most important thing that also being disciplined with my workouts, because I've come to enjoy working out. Is one of the things that I get to kind of like play around, dance, listen to music, because I don't go out anymore necessarily. So that's one of the things being back home has helped me. And of course, financially. Duh, like I try to pay as less bills as possible. I'm like, well, I guess I could pay the internet bill since I work from home. And my mom definitely took me up on that offer. I thought she was like, don't worry about it, but she definitely took me up on that offer. But anywho, of course, the financial aspect of moving back home, that goes without saying, right? My mom does not charge me rent. I spend as less money as possible. I don't feel the need to continuously buy things, because I'm not in an environment where I have to constantly look a certain way when I go places. It's made me cut back on so much unnecessary spending as well. So the most important thing that I really want to get to before this video ends, and I wasn't even expecting to go over those other points, but it is what it is. So the most important thing is me being at home with my family. I didn't expect to be back in the country. I didn't expect to be back home with my parents in my 30s. And I've become really aware of the things that my parents have like instilled in me, or either it be good habits or bad habits that have rubbed off on me as well. And I feel like the most important thing is that I have let go a lot of resentment that I've had, towards members of my family. One of the greatest things that I feel this opportunity has provided me with is that you get to see your parents in a different light, because most of us, we don't really get to see our parents as humans. We think of them of like superheroes, and they know everything. They're supposed to be our protectors, right? But being home and being an adult, it has allowed me to see that my people got some going on too. You know, they're human. They have flaws. They have bad days. And when you know better, you do better. And that has really helped in my healing, because I'm like, okay, well, I see the reason for this, that, and the third. Okay, so I can let that go. When you see how your mom or your dad interacts with other people of your family, okay, I see why that is the way that it is. And especially if you get a chance to be around your grandparents and your parents, that is like a game changer, because people only show love the way they were shown love. Growing up, and I don't know, I guess my family may have to fight me, but growing up, I don't remember a lot of I love yous and a lot of hugs and I appreciate you, and I don't remember a lot of affection. But being back home, I realized that my parents weren't necessarily shown that either. They were always in a mindset of, I have to prove my parents wrong. I have to be better than what they thought I would be. And it has really, hopefully I don't get emotional, it's made me really proud of myself, because I like, don't get me wrong, I love my family dearly, right? But it's made me so appreciative of the woman that I'm becoming, because I don't want to continue that generational curse. Every chance that I get, I try to show some affection. And a lot of people, when you grow up and you're like, oh, I don't like people touching me, like, why are you touching me? You're not comfortable with it, because as a child you were not shown that affection. You were not shown those, that wasn't, we didn't know anything about love language, right? We weren't able to express our emotions and how things made us feel. Especially growing up in a black household, it's my way or the highway, and that's a different conversation for another day. But it was all about, you do what I say or you can leave, right? So I am consciously making sure that I don't want to have kids, but whoever I have in my life, I don't want to bring baggage from my family and the things that I've been shown. I've seen things as far as, relationships, whether it be good, bad, or indifference. Like, I'm trying to, I don't want to be too vague, but at the same time I do have to respect my family's privacy as well. And I don't want my relationships to be like that. I do know that I will find my person. I will continuously work on myself to become my best version of myself. So when I meet my person, they will be the best version of themselves. I'm no longer in a struggle mindset where, oh, well, I just, if he got this, this, and this, we can figure it. No. And I get it. Everybody is not perfect. No one is perfect, rather. But when you see certain things in the household and you see how relationships are viewed, that also has an impact on the way you view relationships and the way that you date and the way that you marry. As I always say, I always joke, my ex-husband, she didn't even know my name. But I've seen people in my family settle. I've seen people in my family accept less than when they deserve better than. So being home has definitely made me realize that I still got some work to do, and I am not responsible for fixing anyone else. Everyone is responsible for their own healing journey. I will try to be supportive. I will try to be as loving as possible and support them if they choose to do so. But a lot of times when you don't feel that there's something wrong with what you're doing, you don't feel that you have character flaws. Like, I know I don't have a lot of patience. I know this about myself. But this is something that I'm trying to work on. When you don't think you have a problem, why would you work on it, right? If you don't see that your air pressure comes on in your car, or your check oil, check engine, you're going to keep driving that car until the wheels fall off, right? So one thing that I can also appreciate about myself is that I know my flaws, and I just want to be better. Like, I just want to be great, because on this next step in my life, I have to build a new community. I have to build new relationships. Everything. I'm literally starting from scratch on another continent. This is not a 5 or 6 hour flight, a 5 or 6 hour drive, an hour drive to another city. You know, we doing something, you know, a little bit bigger than that. And not to say it's a flex, because I know this is gonna be, I don't want to speak that into the universe, but I am preparing myself mentally for challenges, because I know it's not going to be easy, but I got a feeling on me and I can't let it go. It won't turn me loose, because sometimes I'm like, well, maybe I should just go back to Houston. St. Louis, I've lived there before. Cost of living isn't that bad. Maybe I should go back. But I'm like, oh, I don't like the winters there. Maybe another country. But God is where my heart is leading me to. So we're going to see what's up, see how it goes, and if that's not the end all for me, and I'm okay with that. You don't fail until you stop trying. I know there's more for me, and sometimes I feel that I'm a little hard on myself, because I'm like, well, I've been here a year. I should have more accomplished. I should have more things recorded. I should have more content. I should have more subscribers. I should do this. I don't have any responsibilities. I should have, you know, learned how to invest at this point. I should have some stocks. I should be doing all of this stuff. But no, baby girl, you have been healing. You have been healing wounds from your inner childhood, from your childhood rather. And so, not to say that I've just completely figured it out, but I'm happy about the progress that I've made. And I really didn't expect this video to go this way, but I would definitely say, for whatever reasons that you may have, along with the reasons that I've shared with you, if you're looking to make some major life changes and you have a great relationship with your parents, I would, and if you work remotely, there's literally no excuse, right? Pack up your bags and go home and work on yourself. Damn what anybody gotta say. Yes, I live with my parents, and okay, you struggling. You are robbing Peter to pay Paul. Meanwhile, if I want to book a trip today and leave tomorrow, guess what I could do? Because I ain't paying no bills, y'all. It is not a flex. It is simply stating that go home if you need to. Life is not meant just to be paying bills. And I hate to see this stuff on Instagram, not Instagram, but on social media, where they're talking about, oh, I got negative $160 in my account's negative $160, but all my bills paid. Who wants to live life like that? That's not living. So if you need to go home and figure out that business plan, if you need to go home and heal yourself from a hurt, not a hurt, but a past relationship, whether it be a friendship, whatever the case may be. If you're just figuring it out and you want to be an entrepreneur, go home if you have that luxury to. Now, if your parents crazy, you might want to stay where you're at. But I'm a big advocate on going home and finding your peace and rediscovering what makes you happy. I've been doing my shadow work. I'm not consistent with it, but I'm working on it. I'm waking up 4 or 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't start working till 10. I'm waking up 4 to 5 hours before my day even starts, because I need to work on me. I need to work on stuff for myself. I can't give 8 hours to somebody and not do it for myself. So with that note, I'm going to leave y'all. And I didn't do too much rambling this time. Ain't y'all proud of me? But I gotta get ready for my next thing. I have a meeting and I'm almost late, so that's why I keep checking my watch. As always, I love y'all. Continue to be patient with me as I continue to challenge myself to get better, grow the podcast, grow the audience, grow the community. I love y'all. Protect your peace. If it ain't right, it ain't right. Only allow mother one time to show you who they are. Please, y'all stay safe. People are getting crazier by the day. Until next time, I love y'all. Peace. I'm out.